What's it feel like to be 3-point underdogs to the 6th seed when you're the 1st seed and you're at home? I love it. Case in point, I love it. I just love it. Man, the fact that the Eagles are getting a playoff game for the first time in 4 years is just one of the best feelings ever. You know, of course, there are other better feelings. I don't know, like going to a Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl, you know, doing stuff like that. But getting this chance to play in January and record videos in January like this, I didn't think would happen until like 2019, next year most likely. And it's not with Carson Wentz, sadly, but I mean, I know Nick Foles, and I know he can get this done. You know, we can talk as bad as we want about him. When we've seen him play good, he plays good. And when we've seen him play bad, he plays bad. Not all quarterbacks are perfect. You know, Tom Brady has had a decline in his career as he's continued. Sure, he led the league in passing yards this year. Didn't lead the league in touchdowns. You know, he had more interceptions than usual, 8. All right, whatever. But like the thing about Tom Brady is that he's doing what Tom Brady does. We expect this from him. AFC East champions, 1st seed, leading the league in passing yards, his QBR is sky high. We expect this from Tom Brady. What we expected from Carson Wentz, we didn't expect him to do this well. We expected him to do a little bit better. We didn't expect him to become Houdini until he broke or tore his ACL. We didn't expect him to lead the league in touchdowns throughout all 17 weeks of the year without even playing the last 3 games. And now you got Matt Ryan coming into the fold. He is a proven quarterback. He's been in the league for, almost a decade now. He's been doing pretty dang good. He's led his team to a bunch of playoff appearances. A Super Bowl appearance last year might have been one of the most embarrassing Super Bowl losses ever, but he still led his team there. Man, clearly there's still room to grow for them, and people are thinking this is their year, their rebound year, maybe another rematch between the number 1 seed, Patriots, against the lowest seed in the NFC, the Falcons. That'll all be decided as the season, the postseason goes on. But I think the Falcons and their postseason comes to an end on Saturday evening. The reason being, first and foremost, they're favorites. For some reason, they're 3-point favorites, 2.5 favorites, to beat the best NFC team, at least by record, because, seed 1, in the Eagles. Top 5 defense. They are great at shutting down the run, and if they shut down the run, they can get pressure and make life a living hell for quarterbacks, and they've been doing that all year, and you can tell why they're 13-3, because their defense has been playing outstanding. As far as the offense goes, of course, Nick Foles has been playing too well against the Raiders and the Cowboys in his last 2 games, but the Giants game and the Rams game, he iced the Rams game for us. He got us the victory, and then the next game he threw 4 touchdowns and led us past the surprisingly almost upsetting the Eagles New York Giants. He threw 4 touchdowns, over 250 yards, what have you, and there's a lot to be concerned and a lot to be confident when it comes down to Nick Foles. Personally, I love the fact that he knows the scheme. He just needs to get comfortable in that pocket again. It's been a long time since he's been put into a situation like this. He played with the Rams in 2015, got benched later on in the year by one Case Keenum. 2014 broke his collarbone after a really solid start to a season, and then 2013 led his team to a playoff appearance, the first one since 2011. So he's got the potential, and the thing that I like right now about what the Eagles are doing is that we don't know what they're going to do. That's the one thing. You think they might do the same things that they've been doing all season, because clearly that's what they've been, most comfortable with doing, but you come into this game, they're looking up stuff from 2013, 2014, and even 2015 a couple of years ago, 2016 last year actually, to when he stepped in for Alex Smith and the Chiefs, where he actually won a few games for him. So they're looking at the film, they're looking at the playbook, they're expanding the playbook, they're changing things up for the entire offense that best suits Nick Foles and gives the rest of the offense just as much success. So we're going to see a lot of different things on Saturday evening, and I'm excited to see that. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully the Eagles find something that they end up working well with, and they win the game. Secondly, I know the defense will carry. I know this defense is elite. They've been really good since 2014, really. You know, the only issue with the 2014-2015 Eagles was, of course, the high-tempo offense that Chip Kelly used to run for us. They never really had time to sit down and to get a breather. Most of the defense that was there 2015 is here 2017 through 2018 right now. Malcolm Jenkins, Fletcher Cox, Vinny Curry. You know, like, there are a lot of names from that team to this team. And all of them are playing out of their minds right now. One of the best defenses in the league, especially against the rush. Passing-wise, they've had their ups and downs, especially the last couple of weeks of the double moves, the sluggos as we call them. Hopefully they get those resolved because Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, they will burn you with those moves. And that's the thing. I think the Eagles really need to crack down on Devontae Freeman and Coleman in the running backs situation. The Falcons have two of the best running backs, at least as a duo. Two of the best right there. And then, of course, two of the best wide receivers, 1 and 2 at least, Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. This team is dangerous. They are. They've had a little struggle as to finding their rhythm over the past couple of weeks, but once they did, they managed to make it into the playoffs at 10-6. That proves just how good this team is. Defensively, they've been very surprising, the Atlanta Falcons have. You know, they shut down the Rams to 13 points, the number one offense to 13 points last week in the Coliseum. That's very shocking, and it could have just been, you know, rookie jitters. You know, you had Jared Goff's first appearance and the entire team's first freaking playoff appearance as far as all their players and starters go. Sean McVay, he's been riding cloud 9, and once put into the playoff situation, you know, he kind of froze up. You know, he didn't really change much else, and he took away one of the biggest keys to the Rams' success, and that's Todd Gurley after he had 101 yards on 14 carries. Crazy. That's the thing with the Eagles. They are more balanced. If things aren't working, they'll stick with it, and as much as we don't like it, we have to accept the fact that ever since week 2, Doug Peterson has made it a he's made a full-on devotion to keeping the offense as balanced as ever, and it's worked out to our benefit. You know, after the Chiefs game where we barely saw the running game, here we are now in the playoffs, the divisional round. So clearly it worked out. In the end of this game, I think it comes down to quarterback play and defense. I really think if Matt Ryan, Nick Foles can get going, points will be scored. But if they don't and the defense start to shine, it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game. My personal belief is that this game is going to come down to a 24-14, 24-17 kind of game where the Eagles will come out on top. I have the game being around like 14-17, 14-14, headed into the fourth quarter, and, you know, one costly turnover can turn the whole entire game around. I think it's going to be one of the most cleaner games that we'll see the Eagles and the Falcons play, especially against each other, and it's going to be a really fun time. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think of this game. Do you think the Eagles are going to win? All you Falcons fans, give me your reasoning as to why you guys think you're going to win, because I love to talk with basically every other fan base in the NFL. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys tomorrow when I talk on the other side of the NFC divisional round where the Saints take on the Vikings. Oh man, can the Vikings please win this game? I'll talk to you guys later.